Pauline from Chronically Spicy, and I am here because mast cell activation syndrome. Story is making the rounds again about a woman named Johanna from I think 2017. Um, I believe she was in Minnesota, and she is one of the first people that I learned about with mast cell when I was doing research um, on the condition because I've been having tons and tons of weird reactions to myself and um, foods and my husband and environmental triggers, just everything. Um, and I was told I was crazy by doctors for a really long time. I figured out I had Mcas about 6 years before I was diagnosed, I think. And I just did a short um, uh, collab with Dr. Ruben from Ruben Allergy while I epied because um, it's not as bad now, or maybe it is. I just am lying to myself. Um, but all of this was just all red and nasty, and my face is hot, and I'm cold, and um, Mayo Clinic directed me to emergency room, directed me to epi when I have facial angioedema, facial swelling. So it turns out I wasn't epiing enough before then. So who knew? I sure as hell didn't. But that's what happens when you have doctors telling you that it's all in your head when it's not, when it's an actual condition and it's not. So from what I know about the story about Johanna, because I'm a reporter, I'm a freelance writer, and I research everything. I research everything. And from what I know about Johanna, uh, her community rallied around her. And hi, how are you? Thank you for joining. Um, and this woman, her community rallied around her and actually helped put together enough money with a GoFundMe to build a house for her that actually has like an airlocked. Uh, she lives in a separate part of the house than her husband does, um, and I think she can only be around in like 5 minutes, like a day. More than that, and she uh, reacts to his hormones, which is I completely believe because I react to my daughter's hormones when she is PMSing and she reacts to mine. Um, so um, it's the first week of the month. One of us is going to start soon, and we both um, are a little bit of a mess right now. Um, I just did a short that you can watch if you'd like uh, with Dr. Rubin's video on the story that I believe played on 60 Minutes Australia. And so, and I did that because it's an important story for people to be aware of when it wants to come when it's about mast cell activation syndrome. I know muffled audio. I am trying to get better earbuds. Unfortunately, I don't have any right now that are charged or that I didn't accidentally run through the washer because ADHD. So I apologize for that. Um, Let me see if it's better without them. It might be better without them if I can find the keys. Give me 1 second. I was concentrating on finding my EpiPen before, not the. Oh, here they are. Okay, 1 second. Let's take these out and see if it helps. Because these aren't exactly the best. I feel like I'm underwater because I've seen the best uh, earbuds. Hopefully, this is better. Uh, but anyway, why? Yeah, I know, bad sound. I don't have a huge channel. I don't have a whole lot of fancy equipment, and I'm working with what I got. So I hope that that's, if I hope that's good enough. All I can do is work with what I've got, and since I am chronically ill, allergic to, I have mast cell activation syndrome, a ton of chronic illnesses, including Behçet's disease, which is an autoimmune condition which makes your body attack its own blood vessels. And I'm allergic to latex, banana, avocado. I'm allergic to balloons. Uh, I'm allergic to everything. So thank you, Ghost Storm, Ghost Town. The hat I got, it's an Irish newsboy wool, Irish wool newsboy cap. I buy them on Amazon, and they actually are my camouflage for hiding my chronic illness, what I call chronic illness flare hair. Because right now I look like an electrocuted troll doll. Um, Instead of having the cute curly, spirally afro poof that I am supposed to have, I have, my hair is completely straight, and y'all remember Rodney King? He was like a big time Detroit lawyer back like in the 80s, I think. I look a little bit like that right now. And it tends to, all I can say is that I don't know if it's the mast cell. I don't know if it's the Behçet's. I don't know if, uh, God didn't give me a chance. I'm working on my allergy list for my doctor because he wants a full list, not just of the 5 core allergies I'm allergic to, which I need an EpiPen for, which include that's avocado, banana, latex, ethylene dichloride, and coconut. Those are the major allergens that I have. But those 5 allergens, I didn't make the string long enough. Those 5 allergens make me allergic to, as of right now, 125 things. I haven't done the entire list. So, yeah. Um, yeah, you know what? What the hell? Let's go. Sure. I will show you my hair because, um, if anybody's subscribed to my channel and seen it before, I usually either have my hair wrapped, or I usually have my hair done with braids or weave or whatever. But I have a hairstylist that a braider I went to that did my daughter's braids, and she looked at me and she was like, "Yeah, your hair cannot handle the braids." Um, yeah.
So yeah, here's here is your. This is what I have. Um, this is what I have right now, and it's been like this since I got bitten by a brown recluse spider bite, a brown recluse in February of last year, um, and I have absolutely no idea when it's going to go back to normal. One day I will wake up and my hair is going to be the way it used to be. Right now, uh, I look like I look like I stuck my finger on a socket after wetting, putting it in a sink, just to see what would happen. I look like I've been electrocuted. And the weird part is my hair doesn't even hold water right now. Like I can be literally standing underneath a direct, um, uh, I can be standing under the water, under the shower, running water, and my hair looks and feels like tumbleweed. It doesn't do it doesn't hold anything. I don't know if it's the base shots. I don't know if it's the mast cell activation syndrome. I have no idea what's causing it, and I have no idea what will fix it. I just know that it's like this. Mayo Clinic doesn't even know. It's just it could be the fibromyalgia. I don't know. It's everything. Um, so. But yeah, I'm allergic right now. I'm allergic to not just the mast cell activation syndrome, which by definition, just so you know, can make you allergic to anything and everything at any given time, or have what is referred to medically as anaphylactoid reactions, meaning you're not actually allergic to the thing. It's not going to show up on allergy tests, blood or tests, skin prick challenges, or food challenges themselves, but you still have like a reaction that could lead to anaphylaxis or worse, and that's why most people with mast cell activation syndrome have carry EpiPens. I have to epi probably once a day, twice a day, sometimes if I get hit with a really bad flare or I'm extra reactive because of hormones. So that's not a good time either. Um, Johanna, the story that everybody in the chronic illness community and is talking about, and Dr. Rubin did a short on that I stitched, or not stitched, that's TikTok, that I collabed. I did that because I learned about her when I was researching my own condition. And I'm working on these because it helps to calm me down. Because guess what? You can react to your own emotions too. So, um, that's the insane part. And it's so hard for people with mast cell activation syndrome to be taken seriously sometimes. Um, but yeah, I'm painting while I do this. I'm trying to build the channel, and I figured, well, since I'm going to be painting anyway, I might as well go live and try to build some more awareness for mast cell activation syndrome by talking about it, because that's the only way people outside of the community of people who have mast cell and the doctors who know it and discuss it are going to find out about it. And stories like Johanna's, which is hugely important. Um, she, she can't be she can't be around her husband for more than 5 minutes a day, or she reacts to his hormones. and he loves her so much. He's stayed. He's staying with her. Um, she lives in an airlocked part of her home. Literally, it is like a completely separate ventilation syndrome system, and she has the same meal. I think it's like 5 foods that she can eat, and she eats like one meal like every day or every other day. That's what I do. I eat one meal like every day. I eat once a day to reduce the amount of reactions that I have. Because every single time we eat, it doesn't matter if it's a celery stick or a chocolate bar, or if it's a food that's high in histamine or not. It triggers a mass. When you activate your digestive system, you activate your mast cells, and you get histamine response. So, um, so there's that. Um, and then other things that can trigger mast cell activation syndrome: barometric pressure changes, changes in the weather, seasonal changes, hormonal changes, stress, happiness, sadness. Uh, doesn't matter if you're crying during a happy movie, or you're having an argument with your best friend, or you're stressed because you're getting ready to move, or had a bad day at work. All of those things can trigger a mast cell activation syndrome reaction, histamine dump, which can result in anaphylaxis or worse. And my directions to the Mayo Clinic are to uh, thank you for subscribing. I know I saw someone subscribe. Um, yeah, other things that can trigger mast cell include fermented foods, aged foods, dehydrated foods, leftover foods, um, pickled foods, coffee. Tea can help some, but it can trigger mast cell reactions in others. So do things like I can't eat. I had one video that went viral, like on TikTok, and I don't know how many views it got over here, like 13K maybe, um, because I said I couldn't, I can't do a 38-year-old soup, and people like misread and read into what I was saying. Um, I'm Mexican American, first generation. I grew up with a ton of foods that are not considered typical by a lot of that weren't considered typical by a lot of people that I knew um, as a kid. My friends, like beef head with the tongue and the eyeballs and the brain still intact. Um, Beef is typically high in histamine. Um, Collagen. I can't do collagen. I can't do a lot of medications or supplements because they contain coconut derivatives. And the thing is, an allergic reaction can trigger a mast cell flare, or a mast cell flare can make an allergic reaction. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. I'm allergic to a ton of shit. Um, and I'm pretty sure by the time I'm done working on my full allergy list for my doctor, it's going to top 300. In fact, the mast cell activation syndrome patients, um, we have to have like a whole team. If we're having like um, a medical procedure, uh, the entire team, medical team, your doctor, your dentist, uh, everybody needs to know that you have mast cell activation syndrome, because you essentially have to have two teams in there. One to handle the actual condition that you have, or the treatment or the surgery or whatever is being done, and the other to monitor you for mast cell reactions, and make sure your make sure your core temperature stays normal. Make sure you're having, you get your Benadryl drip is going at the same time to help prevent or lessen anaphylaxis to what's happening, because trauma and surgery to trauma can trigger a reaction. My throat, my airway slammed shut during an upper endoscopy um, about 5 years ago, and that was scary as hell. Originally from Detroit. I always tell people wherever I live, I'm always from Detroit. My father was born in Mexico. My mom's parents were born in Mexico. And that, I'm allergic to being Mexican. I'm allergic to avocados. I'm allergic to bananas. I'm allergic to pineapple. I'm allergic to coconut. I'm allergic to mesquite trees. Um, and mesquite is all around. Um, my father was from Monterrey, and it's about 3 hours south of the border from Brownstown, Texas. And there, I think I got that done. And when I finally got diagnosed with the mesquite allergy, which is the pods from the mesquite tree that barbecue is made from, that flavored potato chips, if you live in on any of the border, northern southern border states, or northern part of Mexico, where I know there is mesquite all over the place. Um, you go to a cookout and and you've got a bonfire or a fire pit. It's mesquite that people are burning. It's mesquite that people are um, mesquite chips that people are using to cook with. I can't go into hardware stores. I can't go into Home Depot. I can't go into Lowe's. I can't go into any stores that have wood, essentially, because if there's mesquite, I'm going to react to it. And one tree from 100 miles away can trigger an anaphylactic reaction, um, which can, in and of itself, trigger a mast cell reaction or a mast cell flare. So it like compounds. Um, and so, yeah, that's a whole lot of fun. And I say fun in a very ironic way. But I know that Johanna's story is making the rounds now. The story from 2017 from, I think, 60 Minutes Australia did the story on her. Um, I'm chewing ice because my tongue is dry. And it's one of my mast cell or allergy reactions, anaphylactic signs um, that happens when your salivary glands shut down or are in the process of shutting down, because your body does what it needs to make sure that you keep it keeps the majority of the it transfers all of the energy it needs to your organs that are essential um, in order to make sure that you stay alive. And salivary glands are not part of that category. So I know when my tongue goes dry, salivary glands are an issue, and I try to chew ice um, to keep them going, to keep my salivary glands activated, because the act of chewing, the act of um, you know eating can trigger your salivary glands.
Cheese could also work.
Cheese could work. Yeah, cheese is a good idea. My daughter is 17 years old. She has mast cell activation syndrome too, Mcas also, along with an entire list of everything else. I did a wonderful job of copy pasting myself when I had a child, instead of passing on the good genes and just the good genes. I passed on a lot of things. We basically have identical, almost identical, um, symptomology, symptom lists from the Mayo Clinic, uh, but um, she doesn't have latex allergy like I do. Come on, Evie, come on, come on, come on. Oh, you want me to pick you up? Okay, there you go. Yes, a good boy. Say hi. Want to say hi? You want to say hi? There you go. That's a good boy. Yeah. Um, that's a good boy. Yeah. You knew that. You knew that we were on. That people are watching. Yeah. Okay, lay down right there, buddy. Um, yeah. But my 17-year-old has mast cell activation syndrome. Not as severe as mine, thank God. But I also think that it's because hers was caught a lot faster than mine was. And I think that the longer you go without being treated or knowing which foods to avoid, which triggers to avoid if you have MCAS, the worst. I think it gets worse. Um, and that's kind of where I'm at right now compared to my daughter. Her mast cell, she's where I was when I was her age. Mast cell activation syndrome for me used to just result in really bad uh, that time of the month. Um, Getting sick all the time during that time of the month, etc. Hers, that's what happens to her. Um, Mine was triggered during my pregnancy. Most people with MCAS who've had it for a little while can usually look back and figure out what triggered their MCAS. And mine was my pregnancy. After my pregnancy, actually during my pregnancy, I had hyperemesis gravidarum, which is the same condition that Princess Kate had, I believe, with her pregnancies, where you basically have full term morning sickness and severe. I was on Zofran 4 times a day, 3 times a day. I was on Zofran 3 times a day. I was hospitalized 3 times for severe dehydration. Needed like 4 IV bags to like rehydrate. Um, and it was in the ER that I was diagnosed the second time with hyperemesis gravidarum. That condition itself, uh, there's some belief by MCAS experts that hyperemesis gravidarum is a sign of or is linked to MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome. And so is the same goes for preeclampsia, which I also had. I was put on bed rest at 5 months during my pregnancy, and then I had preeclampsia symptoms starting at near the last 4 weeks of my pregnancy. I was in the hospital. I was going to my midwife every day to get my blood pressure checked because I always had blood pressure of 120/70. It had been always been perfect, and then all of a sudden it starts shooting up to dangerous levels, and I was told one day that I needed to uh, go in to the hospital. Actually, I had to go home, that I had to pack my bags, and that I had to um, call my husband and go to the maternity ward because I was going to be having the baby the next day. Uh, because I had preeclampsia. My blood pressure was 200/100. And I, at the time, had zero clue how important that was or what it meant. My response to the nurse, my midwife, was the nursery's not done yet. And she was like, I don't give a damn about the nursery. You and the baby could stroke out. Um, but there are Mcas experts who believe that preeclampsia is also a sign or connected to mast cell activation syndrome. In order to control Mcas, it's a little bit different for everybody. So, and what triggers us is different for everybody, and even our own triggers for ourselves can change. One day a food can be safe. One day, the next day, the food can trigger anaphylaxis. One day you can handle 30 minutes on the treadmill. The next day, um, stepping outside into humidity or minus 40, uh, or what, depending on your climate, weather change, barometric weather pressure changes, that can set off a reaction. So I always have my EpiPens on me, and I always try to save one if I'm waiting to pick up more. Um, I take H1, we take medications. Um, MCAS can't be cured, but you can manage it with, for every patient, it's different. Like Joanna has a severe form of MCAS. Um, People think I'm severe, and I'm like, I've read stories and I've talked to people who are much worse than I am, and Joanna's story is one of those. Um, but I'm grateful that she has um, shared that story, um, and that it's making the rounds again, because it's um, it's awareness for a condition that is misunderstood. A lot of doctors don't understand how to identify mast cell activation syndrome, how to diagnose mast cell activation syndrome, and end up gaslighting their patients into thinking that they're crazy. I knew that I had MCAS 6 years before I got diagnosed, but doctors kept on testing for the wrong things, no matter what I told them. And it's really, really hard to, let's just say I ended up with formally diagnosed medical PTSD because of all of it. So yeah, it's insane. And I am sincerely hoping that my daughter does not progress like I did or have, because this isn't the easiest condition to be living with. And depending on the severity of your MCAS, for some people it can be considered uh, a disability, uh, but for most people, it's going to affect your quality of life no matter what, uh, especially during the times when you're reactive and in the middle of a flare, which for anybody, uh, you have no idea when it's going to start. You have no idea when it's going to end. So, yeah, it's really hard. And I wanted to comment on Johanna's story and share a little bit of education on mast cell activation syndrome, because if my doctors had known sooner, if my doctors had understood the condition better, I wouldn't have gone through all of the finger pointing. She's doing it to herself. She's making it up. She's making a big deal out of nothing. She's not allergic to the thing. She says she's reacting to crap that I went through and that a lot of mast cell Mcas patients go through, um, because that messes with your head, um, in a major way. Um, as far as I know from my research, Johanna was diagnosed and was a patient of Dr. Lawrence Afrin, who is a world renowned mast cell activation MCAS expert. So you can look him up on YouTube. He's done a lot of guest spots on a lot of podcasts, been interviewed by a lot of different sources, done a lot, written a lot of his own papers. He has his own private practice now in the New York state area, I think, and is super expensive to see. And I'm talking like in the thousands for like 2 visits. Um, and doesn't take insurance, unfortunately. Uh, but and so yeah, I can't afford to see him. But I was diagnosed by the Mayo Clinic. I was diagnosed 3 times actually by different doctors, and then had it confirmed at the Mayo Clinic. So this past summer, I take let's see, Benadryl. Um, yeah, I know it can cause dementia or lead to dementia. Every medication has side effects. Um, and I would rather worry about making sure I stay alive today than uh, not. So, um, yeah, I'll stick to Benadryl right now because what else am I gonna do, right? There's absolutely nothing else I can do. I'm allergic to pretty much every medication out there. I can take famotidine, which is the main ingredient in Pepsid. I can take Benadryl. I can take Cormelin sodium. I can take loratadine, which I think is the like formal name for uh, Claritin. I can take um, the nasal Cormelin, and I can do the nebulized version of Cormelin. Um, but I can't get my Behçet's treated as of yet. Behçet's disease is an autoimmune condition that affects your blood vessels and makes your body actually attack your own blood vessels, and can lead to everything from slurring, strokes, aneurysms, uh, mental confusion, um, personality changes, um, skin ulcers, uh, and a variety of other conditions and health issues. Um, because the main treatment for that is corticosteroids, which I'm allergic to because I'm allergic to ethylene dihydrochloride. And corticosteroids contain that ingredient. Ethylene dichloride is actually why I'm allergic to latex, actually, because it's a stabilizer and natural rubber latex. So there's some irony for you. Um, and there are other medications that I can't take that mast cell patients often take, like Xolair, or omulinizab, I believe is the proper name for it. And that medication was just approved by the FDA for people in the food allergy community in case they accidentally ingest a food, their trigger food, like people with peanut allergy, people with shellfish allergy, that kind of thing. I can't take that either because the pre-filled injections that they send you home with, or mail to your home, or whatever that you take at home, those contain latex in the syringes, and the kind that is latex free, as well as the regular kind that is not latex free, both contain polysorbate 80 as a medical preservative, which is a coconut derivative. And I am severely allergic to coconut. So, yeah. And I also can't take the Neffy, that new Neffy pen, not the new Neffy nasal spray, the needle-free alternative to epinephrine. I can't do that either because, of course, I was all over researching that when Dr. Rubin first mentioned it on TikTok, which is where I first came across his account. Um, and I started researching it when it was finally released and found the ingredients list. And I can't just look at the main ingredient list. I have to look at the ingredient list, and then I have to break down each individual ingredient to see what the inactive ingredients are. Uh, Otherwise, I end up messing myself up. And one of the inactive ingredients in the Neffy pen is methylated. It comes from a methylated source. And one of the things that I am allergic to because of ethylene dichloride allergy is anything that's methylated. So that's one of the reasons I can't do like iron supplements and things like that, because most of those, I believe, are methylated. Yeah, so good times. Um, but yeah, I'm allergic to everything. Uh, Thankfully, I can go out in the cold. Thankfully, I can uh, go out when it's hot. I drink a lot of water. I keep myself hydrated. Um, I'm allergic to some waters too. Well, I'm allergic to water too. Uh, because ah, feels like I have hair on my throat, but it's freaking, it's freaking Mcas, yo. Um, yeah, good times. Um, and yeah, I'm allergic to pretty much all, but I think four forms of anesthesia. Um, my airway slammed shut during an upper endoscopy before MCAS was put on my official diagnostic list, and they had to stop the procedure immediately to open up my airway and get me back in the recovery room. And we're like, yeah, cool. You're fine. Everything's good. Come back in 2 weeks. Make an appointment. Come back in 2 weeks. The anesthesiologist knows how to handle your case now, so you'll be good for the next time around. And I was like, um, sure. I never made the appointment to go back because I was just too scared. So that was a thing. Thank you for the likes, and thanks for hanging out. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like, please share. If you have any questions or comments, I've seen some. I will try to uh, reply to the ones that are, you know, serious, because I see some y'all. Um, and Yeah, I'm allergic to the entire hair care section. I can't do. I'm allergic to shampoo. I'm allergic to conditioners. I'm allergic to most laundry detergents. I'm allergic to uh, uh, fragrances. I'm allergic to I have to take my own soap out with me in public when I go shopping because if it suds, it's made with coconut. If it says plant based, I'm allergic to it because coconut. And if I'm not allergic to it because of an actual allergy, I react to it because of histamine issues and mast cell activation syndrome. So it's one or either way. Like I'm not allergic to fish, but I can't eat fish and anymore because I instant dry mouth, and then it sets off like a domino effect. If I eat anything that's slow cooked or contains collagen in it, that's TMI, but that's projectile vomiting and anaphylaxis and more anaphylaxis. It gets things can get really bad. So yeah, I always have epi on me, and kiddo, my 17-year-old, is really good at making sure that I'm paying attention to my symptoms so that I can make sure I treat what needs to be treated when I have a reaction. Um, Mcas can also cause, and so can Behçet's, but that can lead to seizures, allergic seizures, MCAS seizures, or Behçet's neuro, which would then it would be neuro Behçet's. I'm not treated for my Behçet's right now because of the ethylene dichloride allergy. So um, I have absolutely no idea when I am going to be treated for that condition because I have to wait to get in to see Mayo Clinic in the Minnesota area because I was going to the Jacksonville Mayo Clinic for quite a while and that's we were there temporarily in about an hour and a half north of the campus, and we had a friend in the area who um, we were able to stay with when we were in town. Um, so that was why we were there like twice a month for me and for my kid because we both have everything from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome to mast cell activation syndrome to um, me also having Behçet's. Um, it's crazy. It's um, it's a lot to process, essentially. Uh, Especially since we just both got diagnosed with everything. Um, so yeah, it's a lot to deal with and a lot to manage. I'm homebound, housebound throughout the holidays, from Thanksgiving to um, New Year's, essentially, because I'm allergic airborne to poinsettia plants. Um, and those are our latex allergy cross. So is bamboo. Um, I found that out the hard way. Um, Gluten, wheat. There's a ton. There's a ton of things that are latex allergy crosses, and again, all of this matters because uh, allergic reactions and sicknesses and infections can trigger mast cell activation syndrome flares and uh, basically feed off of each other in like the hamster wheel of hell, like just loop. So that's not fun at all. So yeah, right now I'm still swollen. My face is normally not like that. Um, I might end up having the epi again tonight, but I'm gonna try and wait. Still, I don't recommend doing that to anybody else. I'm not saying to not follow your doctor's directions. Epi as soon as you feel you need to. Um, Two or more body systems affected is medically defined as anaphylaxis. Your airway does not need to be affected for it to be anaphylaxis. Um, it can be dry mouth and welts. It can be swelling and gastro symptoms. It can be brain fog or confusion or slurring, or uh, stomach upset and swelling and hives, etc., etc. Like any two body systems, including anxiety and impending doom, are signs of anaphylaxis, which is important for people with MCAS to know because a lot of times doctors will look at us and tell us it's just anxiety. They have, and when they see anxiety, they think they've solved the issue. They think they've solved the problem. They see anxiety and they think they're done when anxiety is a symptom and not the diagnosis. So that can be a major roadblock for a lot of MCAS patients. I think the average for getting diagnosed is somewhere around 10 years. Uh, and MCAS was first put on the you can get diagnosed with this list of conditions in 2007, which is when I gave birth. So I can give my doctors a partial pass.
The fuck container goes into the actual garbage, right?
Which one?
Fuck container.
Uh-huh. Yep. But thank you to everybody who stopped by and liked. Thank you to my new subscribers. Um, I want to start interviewing people on my experts on my channel. I am a published freelance writer. I've written for people. Not people. I've written for a lot of media, but not people. I've written for Washington Post. I've written for Redbook. I've written for Men's Health, Huffington Post, Yahoo. I've written for a lot of publications on health conditions, but I haven't talked about mast. And I'm autistic and have ADHD, which seems to be pretty common in the mast cell activation syndrome, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is hypermobility condition, affects your joints and collagen, and POTS, post-tachycardia syndrome, which my 17-year-old also has. And those three are known as the trifecta. Um, when, quite honestly, I'm not really sure why it's just called a trifecta anymore because Mcas has been implicated or suspected to be part of so many different conditions that just those three, well, let's just say it's not just those three, but those three are so commonly connected. If you have one, you're way more likely to have, others. And those three almost go hand in hand quite a bit for a lot of patients. So uh, that one's really important to be aware about. I don't have POTS. My daughter does. My daughter's not diagnosed with Behçet's. She may have it, but she's not diagnosed. And I do have that one. So that's the only difference that we have as of now in our diagnostic list. And yeah, we both did the rounds at Mayo this past summer, and that was eye-opening to say the least. I got diagnosed with Behçet's neuropathy, small fiber neuropathy, pins and needles, feeling like you're getting stabbed by invisible little gnomes. That's always fun. Oh my goodness. But if you stop by and you are interested in learning about mast cell activation syndrome, if you are interested in learning about latex allergy, or know someone who has latex allergy, and want to be able to help them manage or stay safe when they're around you, please subscribe. I have basically all of that stuff down pat. The only one that I'm still learning about really is Behçet's, because that's the one that I literally just got diagnosed with, and I'm still learning about because you don't have a whole lot of time to figure things out when you get diagnosed 3 days before you move cross country. So, yeah, that was a big one. And it didn't help, especially when I saw that Behçet syndrome can lead to blindness, a permanent or temporary loss of vision and or hearing. But I'd spent so much time thinking and blaming all of my conditions and symptoms on mast cell activation syndrome that I thought I didn't look beyond that. It didn't occur to me to look beyond that. So yeah, let's see. Omar explains, says playing the game of life on hard mode. You got that right. And I didn't even ask for that. It's a shitty bingo card. It's not the bingo card I wanted. The thing is too, I have progressive latex allergy. I have mast cell activation syndrome that is getting, that seems to be progressive. And son of a puppy. I always end up doing that. That's what I'm supposed to be wearing. This over myself, but my ADHD ass always thinks, no, I'll be fine. That's not how this works. If I think I'm going to be fine, no. And if I think I'm going to put something away and not lose it, I'm going to lose it, especially if I put it away where I thought it was supposed to go. looking at comments. That hat is from the 20s. Yeah, I love the style hat. Ahmed Hassan Salim, are you still here? I think I said that right. Matthew Stringer, hello. Hola. Sara Las Luisa, how are you? Yeah, but it's, I will tell you, it's hard knowing that I passed on basically the crap genes to my kid, um, along with my curly hair. Or, well, hers is still curly. You know what I mean? So I'm happy at least for that. Um, where did I put the paper? There it is. I will tell you, it's crazy when I saw that story was that Johanna's story has like hit the news cycle again, and like everybody in the chronic illness community, TikTok circle is like talking about it like it's brand news, and I understand it's brand new to them because they haven't seen it before, but I'm like, yep, I knew about her a long time ago, and yep, um, I would love to interview her. Would absolutely love to. Hello, whoever just joined. If you have any questions about Mcas, latex allergy, coconut allergy, ethanol non-hydrochloride allergy, Behçet's, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, let me know. I also have fibromyalgia and a couple of other conditions that I am still learning about. So there's that, and I'm working on sugar skulls for Day of the Dead. Dia de los Muertos, because it helps me remember my father and my other lost loved ones. These are fun ones. The freaky little baby doll heads that I make pretty for Day of the Dead. I have one more to paint, and I'm gonna put 4 of them on my Etsy page. And I'm going to keep one. So, but I think I'm good for now. I wanted to just stop by and let you know, make sure you watch Dr. Rubin's video on the story about Johanna and her extremely severe case of mast cell activation syndrome. And see if you can find the full video from, I believe it's 60 Minutes Australia, and learn what you can about mast cell activation syndrome, especially if you're a med student considering going into medicine when you get to college.
They need to invent an oil that doesn't get on your hands. Every time. Every time I open the oil packet for the fun, it gets on my hands. There's nothing I can do, and if I use the scissors, it'll just get on the scissors. So there's nothing I can.
That's kind of like what oil does, kiddo.
They need to invent an oil that does it.
I know. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for new subscribers, and I will see you in the next video.